Hey there guys, this is Danny and welcome to this episode of All Monsters Go to Space. Today I'm going to be talking about the South and Southeast Asian mythological beings, the Naga. It's a Sanskrit and Pali word for the snake deity, usually a king cobra. This being is typically found in Asian religions like Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism. The females are called Nagi or Nagini, just like Voldemort's snake, and Naga is the Sanskrit word for cobra. They, more often than not, are portrayed as having a fairly even mix of human and serpent traits, but sometimes as having more of one than the other. An example of this is the story of the Naga prince Shesha. In Hinduism, the stories of Nagas are still very much around. In India, they are nature spirits and linked to protecting bodies of water, bringing rain, fertility, and floods or droughts. They are snakes that can take human form and are harmless unless provoked. They are also susceptible to man's destruction of their home. Other than being linked to water, they are also considered to be guardians of hidden treasure similar to dragons. The people of India will give grand rituals to honor Nagas in hopes of them being blessed with fertility, good marriages, safety, and prosperity for their family. It is actually believed that a person who harms a snake will be cursed with infertility and a delayed marriage, and then must perform various degrees of worship to be relieved of their misfortune. It is usually women who will flock to the temples to pray to the stone statues that look like an anthill or a snake inside of an anthill, the representation of Nagas, to ask for these blessings. It is said that Nagas live in Patala, the seventh nether dimension, and carry the elixir of immortality, or sometimes a jewel called the Naga jewel. In the great epic Mahabharata, it portrays Nagas as negative beings because they were prone to poisoning and biting others. But it also has them being the main characters and even frequently being no more evil than any other characters. In this epic, it talks of Kadru, the ancestral mother, who had made her bet with a sister, the mother of Garuda. The loser would become a slave. To prevent losing, Kadru asked her children for help. They refused, and she cursed them to be sacrificed in a fiery ritual for King Janamejaya. The king of snakes, Vasuki, became aware and wished to prevent the death of his brethren, so he went to the famous ascetic Jaratkam and offered his sister, the snake goddess Manasa, as a bride, and from this the hero Astika was born. Kadru's curse came to be. The ritual fire was lit, and as they were called, they came and were burnt. When it was reaching an almost genocidal point, Astika charmed the priest into putting out the fire and saving the rest of the Nagas. The Nagas' great nemesis is actually Garuda, the son of Kadru's sister. He was the great eagle king and wished to free his mother from her servitude. He asked his cousins for help. They wanted Amrita, the elixir of immortality. He bore a grudge because of his mother's enslavement, but brought it anyway. But instead of giving it to them, he lay it on kusha grass. The goddess Indra then took it, and the Nagas tried to lick up what was left, but the grass split their tongues. And ever since, eagles and snakes have been enemies, and the snakes are food to the eagles. Vishnu was the first deity to be portrayed in the form of being protected by a Sesanaga, or is at least sat on one. This then led to other deities either wearing them around their necks, arms, waist, or even at their ankles, or being held in the hand or used as a throne. Shiva is often garlanded in Nagas. Nagas are also extremely common in Buddhist traditions throughout all of Asia. The stories are often merged with them being great and wise serpent or dragons, as they have very similar traits of being water-associated creatures and protectors of treasure like the Burmese gnat. These Nagas take the form of a great cobra, usually with one head, but they can also have many. Some have magical abilities and can transform their whole appearance into that of a human. In Tibet, they are like a Klu and dwell in lakes and underground streams and protect treasure. In China, they are equal to the Chinese dragon. In Buddhist paintings, they are occasionally portrayed as being human with a snake or dragon extending above their head. It is also said that Nagas live on Mount Meru and in various parts of the world, but mainly throughout Asia. Some are water dwellers, while others are earth dwellers, mainly underground caves. They also act as guards on Mount Sumeru and are servants to Virupaksha, who guards the western direction and is one of the 4 heavenly kings. Among all of the Nagas, the most notable is the king of Nagas, Mukhalinda. Buddha was meditating one day when a huge storm rolled in, so this Naga used his hood to protect him. Also, two of Buddha's own disciples, Sariputta and Moggallana, are also called Mahanagas, meaning great Nagas. And there are actually many people throughout Buddhist religions who have Naga attached to their name in some way. Malaysian sailors believe Nagas to be a type of dragon with many heads, like the Sri Gumun who lives in the Lake Chini. In Thailand and Java, they are wealthy underworld deities. The Naga image is used in many temples as architectural elements, and the Paya Naga is said to live in the Mekong River, and even in the Thai zodiac, the depiction of the dragon is usually, more often than not, a Naga. In Laos, they are beaked water serpents, and the people say they are protectors of Vientiane and the Laos state. The Nagas appear throughout their culture and iconography. The Indonesian people believe them to be giant crowned serpents with magical abilities. They are sometimes depicted with wings, and they symbolize the nether realms. Cambodians believe that Nagas were a race of reptilian beings living under King Kalia, who had a large kingdom in the Pacific Ocean region. They were chased away by the Garudas and fled to India to seek refuge. The king's daughter married the Indian Brahmana, and from this union came the Cambodian people. They even have a saying, born from the Naga. The seven-headed statue actually represents the seven races within society. An odd-headed Naga is usually a male and represents male energy, infinity and immortality, and those with an even number of heads are females and represents physicality, mortality, temporality and the earth. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like me to do videos on individual characters mentioned in this video, let me know in the comment section below. Also, please leave a like, subscribe and click the notification bell to be alerted to when we upload more videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!